Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe.
What up? What up? We're back, baby.
Fuck yeah, let's do this. College football, week 3. No,
Week four.
4.
Week 4.
Damn it, what am I
Week
doing
4.
already?
It's all good, buddy. It's weird with the NFL and college. We're trying to keep up with the weeks. Week 4 episode. This is going to be 32. I'm going to post this one. 32 of the Third Leg Podcast. Welcome back. How you doing? How you been, Dunny?
Hey, pretty good. Thursday was an awesome day for us. Hopefully everyone tuned in, followed what we were doing. Hope for more of the same. You know, voice keeps coming back, so I like that. Saturdays are always fun. Today might be the best college football day of the year.
Today is definitely on paper the best college football day so far.
For sure.
Guaranteed. Just the matchups, the slates, the lines, all the hype for Colorado and all that shit. Like this week is going to be a banger.
Right. You know, it's the first day of fall, so it's just fitting that today is, one banger of a day. From start at noon till the 10:30 games, you have at least 3 or 4 games that you have to watch. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, every time slot has at least a banger or two. From noon to 3:30, 7:30, 10:30, every single slot's got a fucking banger today. So keep your unit safe, but they're getting deployed today. I know that.
All the troops are out.
All the troops are out.
Hopefully some of them make it home. Bring a couple prisoners with them. That'd be fun. But
Say a prayer for your unit today.
God, I don't know. I know you don't like gambling, but please help me out.
Warner's in here early. Let's go. What's up, Warner? Good morning, brother.
Go Blue always, Michigan. Let's go. Let's go.
Go Blue, baby.
All right.
Start off. We're just going to recap week 3 real quick. Dunny, get us started, baby.
All right. Well, the game that everyone was hyped about last week, Colorado versus Colorado State, it was not a blowout. So the books took all the money back that they had lost on Colorado.
On the first 2 weeks. I think it just kept building up and building up. So week 3, they got most of it back.
Ridiculous. Last week was a good week for the books. I think like of the top 10 money plays, they won like 8 of them. So that's sad. That's sad.
Sad for the people, good for the books.
Right, 100% correct. Colorado State, 2 overtime thriller. Shedeur Sanders had to go 98 yards to even get there. He played well, 348, 3 touchdowns, did have an interception. Unfortunately, I think the biggest storyline for this game is that Travis Hunter's out, and that hit was atrocious. I cannot believe that the kid didn't get thrown out. But out with a lacerated liver. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that'll get you. That will get you. It just sucks because he's a two-way player. So they got to find a guy to fill the void on defense. So there's going to be another cornerback coming in. More than likely, Oregon and Bo Nix are going to target him for most of the game to see how he's doing. Put some pressure on him, and then on the other side of the ball, another wide receiver is going to have to step up in a primetime slot. So it'll be weird to see for Colorado, but we'll be able to see that next guy up mentality for them and see that next stud on the roster if they got one.
If they're on the team still, Dion should have them prepped and ready to go. It's just you're not going to be Travis Hunter, right? Like replacing him is not as simple as, okay, next person up. It's going to take the whole team elevating their game to do that, which is kind of why I'm huge on Oregon today. So go Ducks. We'll get to that in a second, though. Truthfully, week 3 recap was a lot of mediocrity from pretty much every team. Oklahoma had their blowout, but other than that, everyone struggled. Florida State struggled with Boston College. It was a 2-point game. This is a team that looked damn good the first few weeks and then almost went up to Boston College and lost, which would have ruined their season. I didn't get to catch any of the game. Just looking at the score, I was astonished, though.
I watched the end of it. I was at the bar after my nephew's football game, and Florida State didn't look like the better team. Boston College had the momentum, and then on their last drive to go down and just kick a field goal to win, they could not get one first down. They did like 4 straight throws in a row, couldn't get the ball moving. But the 7 minutes before that, Florida State was atrocious. They didn't move the ball whatsoever, and Boston College scored 2 times in a row. and had all the momentum, and they had the sickest fucking jerseys. They had the bandana numbers.
Okay.
Boston College, dude, it was sick.
All right. I'll have to look at those jerseys. Florida State, obviously a team. They're they're top 5 in the country. So look for them to bounce back this week, play a little bit better of football. Maybe they were looking ahead because they have a tough opponent this week. But they struggled. That is for sure. Kansas State, number 15 in the country, goes to Missouri and loses on a 61-yard field goal. Ruined a bunch of parlays for a lot of people. I know that. They had a money line because it was a 3.5-point spread. And 61-yarder.
Bang! Welcome to the league, kid.
Right.
Welcome to the fucking league.
Congratulations. You're now big man on campus in Missouri.
Yeah, you are that dude in Missouri now.
For sure. Other teams that struggled, number 1 in the country, Georgia. They struggled against South Carolina. They were down at halftime. I think the spread I don't think they were ever plus points. They were never the underdog in the game on FanDuel, at least. I was at the wedding kind of watching it, seeing if we could jump on the live pick there. But they did end up covering if you took it at halftime. I think it got down to 2.5 points. So Georgia did win 24-14, but they looked human. Very, very human.
Yeah, they looked like shit the first half. Second half, their defense stepped up so big because South Carolina had like 4 punts, an interception, and a turnover on downs in the second half. That was all their drives. They did nothing on offense. They barely got any first downs after the first half. So Georgia needed a full half to become Georgia. I'm sure there's a little bit of changes in the locker room, like normal, coaching wise, scheme wise, and shit like that. But they locked them down in the second half. When I was watching the first half, I was like, holy shit, is Georgia going to lose? Like, I can't remember this happening. Georgia being down early to an unranked South Carolina team. Spencer Rattler, I was a little high on him this preseason. Thought he was going to, come out and show out. But he just couldn't get anything going in the second half. If they could have just put up any points or sustained any drives, that game would have been a lot different because it was a complete lopsided game in the second half.
Yeah, I think that game between both quarterbacks, it started 12 for 12. There wasn't an incomplete pass almost the entire first quarter. It was pretty cool to see. I was getting excited. I thought Georgia might lose. We could take over that number 1 spot and hopefully never give it back. But it happens. They look human. That's the best thing to hear is they're struggling on offense.
Yeah, for sure. It's not great to see, but from our perspective, it's kind of good to see Georgia struggle after kicking our asses.
Another SEC team that struggled, Alabama, coming off the loss to Texas, struggled with South Florida. 17-3 was the final score. They were tied 3-3 at halftime, and both Georgia and Alabama were both struggling. I'm like, oh my God, is the SEC going to get killed today?
Yeah, this game had a lot of weather. It was raining pretty much the whole time, and they were going through their second and third quarterback. It's weird to see Bama, struggle with who their leadership is on the field and their quarterback position. So this year is definitely new. Everyone in the country, I'm sure, is excited to see how they bounce back this week. Milrose getting the starting spot this week, so we'll see how he bounces back after having an entire week off, watching his predecessors eat shit versus USF. So hopefully he's got a good mindset coming in and he's ready to roll. But that game was super fucking ugly. Bama couldn't move the ball. They had a muffed punt return that gave USF good field position. They just weren't the Bama you're typically seeing.
They weren't that crisp, clean Alabama Crimson Tide. You kind of told me before the podcast started, but why did Saban decide to do this quarterback carousel thing?
So everyone's asking, everyone just wants information on the quarterbacks. You know how coaches are. They just try to keep it close to the vest. He said that the only reason that the other 2 quarterbacks played is because I promised them playing time to begin the year. I promised them to see the field. That was all. And he said nothing more, nothing less. End of story. Let's stop talking about it on the next week. And after he said that, I was just like, that is just bullshit.
I was just saying, are you buying it?
No, I'm not buying it. I'm pretty sure that is straight up bullshit.
He is talking out his ass, just trying to cover the fact that they don't know who their quarterback should be, and they're kind of left with, okay, who's going to hurt us the least amount, I guess.
And to say Alabama's offensive line is bad would be an understatement. It doesn't matter what quarterback you put in there if they don't have any fucking time.
Right.
Like USF was getting a lot of pressure and sacks on Alabama, which shouldn't be a thing, but it was. So we'll see how Milroe does because he's the most athletic quarterback. So I think that kind of forces their hand if you have a shitty line to put your most athletic guy back there to be able to maneuver and get out of the pocket and shit. So I'm pretty sure that's why they're going to roll with Milroe going forward, strictly because their offensive line is doo-doo.
For sure. Look, that's a good game for them today, too. 2 top 15 matchups. Burley, I like the pick. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to give away who I'm picking for tonight, but nice call.
The Notre Dame money line. Any way Clemson beats Florida State tonight from Warner?
Personally, I don't think so. It's not the same Clemson team, you know. Florida State might have been looking ahead a little bit last week, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Clemson and their quarterback play right now, or Dabo Swinney at all. I don't know. I don't have any faith in them right now, but I think Florida State, in my eyes, are going to win this game today.
There we go. You heard it here first, boys and girls. Florida State to cover. Love it, Burley. Moving on, last week recap. Tennessee goes down to Florida and loses in the swamp. Top 15 team going down. Crazy to see. There was almost a brawl. Joe Milton almost got his ass beat by a defensive lineman.
That picture was so good. He's squaring up with a 6'7", 350 lineman. And I'm like, yeah, that's Milton right there. He don't fucking care, dude. I know he can sling him. He's got an arm.
Right.
He can probably throw a good punch, but that motherfucker's 350 fully padded out. Yeah. That's like an instant meme.
For sure. It will be something that lives on for sure. Moving to the in-state teams, Michigan wins but looks bad. J.J. McCarthy, 3 interceptions. You can argue that a couple of them might not have been his fault, but he still threw 3 picks. Corum ran for 101, had 3 touchdowns, so it's good to see him looking like himself. Final score 31-6. What do you think?
Slow start. It's hard to get anything rolling when you're turning the ball over so much. I think JJ did not look great. I really think he's going to bounce back this week, but last week it just didn't feel right. It was like the same slumps that Georgia and Bama were having, where you could just tell who the better team was, but we're just making mistakes hurting us. So that game was super weird. You got to give props to them and the back end of their defense for coming up and making big plays, because that's the only way you're going to stay in a game with such a good team like Michigan. So got to give props to them and say JJ really did look like shit.
It's the truth. We didn't look good, but we still won. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you live to fight another day. You get to go on fresh team, fresh scheme, fresh looks. So, I mean, today's a whole new day, whole new week.
For sure. Burley, I hope you're still in here for this because you missed it last week. Michigan State got their asses kicked last week, 41-7.
I thought Penix was going to go for 600, bro. I'm not going to lie.
If they would have left him in and let him keep throwing, they probably would have. 41-7, Penix threw for 473 and 4 tutties. MSU was shut out for the first 3 quarters, but hey, one positive note for you, Burley. You guys did win the 4th quarter, so good job. Way to end it on a positive.
Okay, Dunny. Oh, what a backhanded compliment. I love it.
We're a 4th quarter team.
That's fucked up. Yeah, MSU looked like shit. Their offense couldn't move the ball compared to what they were doing the first 2 weeks. I was saying a few weeks ago that their offense looked better than what I thought going into the year, strictly because I didn't know who the fuck was going to be on the field.
Right.
But their offense didn't do that this week. Washington's a stout defense, especially up front. So it didn't surprise me that they couldn't get the ball moving on the ground. But when you're down so much, it's hard to get anything rolling because they know that you're going to be passing the ball. They can get damn near 5 DBs or 4 in a nickel. And it's just a lot harder to be able to move the ball because they're going to keep everything in front. Nothing, no big deep plays and no long touchdown scores to be able to get you back into the game. So it was just a tough game overall for them. I don't want to give them too much shit because Washington is a great team and they weren't supposed to win. So it's not anything crazy, but MSU did get their ass kicks. I won the drinking contest at the wedding, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, you were blackout by 7 o'clock. That's great. Dunny told me
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. Dunny was telling me a
Always.
little about that. You're trying to
Always.
blow the owner up.
That was Zane and I, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Of course it was Zane.
barely
Fucking
did know what he
Pyro.
was doing. Recap of last week's picks for Saturday's games. I went 3-2. Penn State covers the spread, which that game was ugly itself too against Illinois. A lot of turnovers from Illinois helped us cover the spread 14 points.
I don't want to talk about it.
Right. Washington covers the 16.5 against State. That was the freest bet you could have had all week. Colorado versus Colorado State. Obviously, Colorado did not cover 23.5 points. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Throwing off in the fire. Yeah, we tried to tell him, hey, dude, don't walk towards the fire. There's a can in there, but he didn't listen, so he almost got exploded. No one went to the hospital. We're fine. Western Michigan did not cover against Iowa. This was some Sean McVay, LA Rams bullshit that happened here. 28.5 points. It's covering. I thought it was locked. I'm good. I didn't even check the score. Iowa scores a touchdown with 30 seconds left to ruin the cover. I'm like, you pieces of shit.
Couldn't they just take a knee?
Right.
The game was over.
Come on. Why rub salt in the wound? This is bullshit.
Well, after you have such an abysmal year on offense, you're trying to pad a little bit of stats for the year length,
right.
Totals and shit.
We averaged 12.5 points a game instead of 12
11.
Points a game.
Yeah.
And then the last pick for Saturday last week was Western Kentucky over 64 points with Ohio State. That was cash. Ohio State scored 63 on their own, so it was pretty easy. Once Western Kentucky scored 10 in the first half, I'm like, this is chalk game.
Yeah, you said Ohio State was guaranteed to score 50 plus, so that was a good call.
Yep. So 3-2. Not the best day, but not the worst day. That's for sure. The same game parlay that was sweat free from DraftKings on the Michigan State game. It would have covered if Carter from State would have ran for 60 yards, but the bum only got to 48. So we lost on that one. We lost on that one.
You're down so much, they're not going to run the ball a lot.
Right. I was like, damn it.
That's tough to see.
And then there was a stepped up parlay from DraftKings where you got extra, I think 20 or 30% boost. That also lost. Kansas State really fucked the pooch there on that one with the 61-yard field goal to lose. So
was that the only one that lost?
No, it wasn't, but that was the one that it was the first game, and you're like, yeah,
oh no,
this is chalked. Don't even just crumple it up and throw it away.
Don't stress about it. It's over. Chalk.
Yep. For sure. But that is my week 3 recap. A lot of mediocrity. The teams that are supposed to blow people out didn't. So maybe college football is a little closer than what it needs to be or what it used to be. But we'll see this week. A lot of good games.
Dude, this is the best week so far. I think every dude is going to try to be playing it on their couch for as long as possible, just ripping off parlays.
Absolutely. And this is the first week of football season that I've been able to just wake up, get on my couch until the time I go to sleep. Saturday and Sunday. So I cannot fucking wait for this. This is awesome.
Dude, you've had like 18 weddings and 7 bachelor parties. You've been all over the fucking country these weekends, the last month.
Right. I'm so excited. Noon hour. There's like 3 games that I'm definitely going to be watching. Pops was coming over, so we're going to be chilling on the couch and watching.
You get the Roku for the third TV?
I did. I got it last night. Picked up the jailbroken Fire Stick. Hey, how are you?
Let's fucking go. 3 games ready to rip.
This week's picks. What do you got?
All right. So this week, I got a few picks to start. I like Michigan versus Rutgers. It opened up at 44. When I first liked it, it's moved to 45. I think Michigan is going to get it rolling again. I think McCarthy's going to get it rolling again. I think they're going to put the ball in the air a little more to get McCarthy a little more settled in and to forget about last week. I think Michigan scores 30 points. Rutgers can easily score 17 to 21. Michigan always is capable of scoring 40 plus themselves. And if you look at any previous Michigan versus Rutgers, we are not scared to run the numbers up. So I like +4, or I like over 45 today. I like Florida State -2 or their money line. I'm not sold on Clemson. Like I said, Florida State didn't look great last week, but they're supposed to win this game. I think if it's in Clemson, yeah. If it was in Florida State, the line would be moved to like -5. But since it's in Clemson, it's -2. So I'm going to take Florida State money line or their -2. I think either one of them is going to cash this week. I'm on the other side of you this week. I like Colorado +21. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm just going to ride the hot hand. Everyone's been down Dion every week. 21 points is a lot. They can lose by 21 for a push. I think that's just a lot of points. I know this game is supposed to go over 60, 70. So I think 70. So
the line is 70.
Yeah. So if it's a 21-point game and the over's there, then that's just so many fucking points. Oregon's going to have to score unanswered against Colorado. So I'm staying away from the money line. I know it's fucking huge. It's like +800 or something, but I'm just gonna roll with +21 Colorado. Nothing crazy, 1 unit. But yeah, and then I like Notre Dame versus Ohio State. I hate Ohio State. I don't think they've been looking great. Notre Dame's quarterback is trying to get into the Heisman votes. I think they show up this week, and hopefully Ohio State doesn't get it clicking this week, because it doesn't look like it's been great so far offensively. This is going to be like the biggest game of this quarterback's career, McCord. So we'll see how he plays against, another top 10 team. Banging Notre Dame. And sorry, Burley, I like Maryland -7 versus MSU. I just think MSU is in shambles currently, and Maryland's offense is very high tempo and a lot of throwing the ball. Tua's brother, I forget his first name, but Tua's brother has went over 300 almost every time he plays State. So as long as Maryland's defense doesn't allow huge plays against Michigan State, I think this is going to be an easy cover for them. And then one more.
Tulelia.
Yeah, I won't even try to say that. Keep tugging. And then I got God damn it. And then I'm gonna take Colorado State +4 versus Middle Tennessee State this week. I like a little revenge week. You can sprinkle their money line or whatever, but they look good against Colorado. I think they got some stuff figured out. Their coach is fucking psychotic, and I think he's gonna get the ship sailing straight today. I'm just gonna roll on like a revenge game, Colorado State.
Okay. Hey, I was looking at that too, and I was like, hey, they looked good against Colorado. If Colorado is as good as everyone thought they were, then Colorado State should cover the 4 and probably win the game this week in Middle Tennessee State. Burley, Harbaugh's back.
Yeah, Harbaugh is back, baby. He's running it up. And then on top of that, just thinking about the game, if Colorado beats Colorado, or if Colorado State beats Colorado, this line is not +4. So
right.
Barring a 98-yard drive, Colorado State's favored in this game. So I'm just going to disregard all that. Bang Colorado State. They look good last week. We'll see how Middle Tennessee State plays.
There you go. Sprinkle the money line, whatever it is. I'm not looking at it right now, but might be worth it.
Yes, sir. That's my picks. What are you looking at?
Well, we're on quite a few. At least 2 of the same things. Florida State -2 at Clemson. All of these I'm going to do for probably 1 unit. Clemson is not the same Clemson team as they were, in the last 10 years. Florida State has historically struggled on the road at Clemson, but I think, again, last week was kind of looking forward, not as mentally prepared for Boston College as they should have been, which is why they struggled. But I think they'll be ready to go tonight against Clemson, or today against Clemson. I really, really am not sold on Dabo's team this year. Oklahoma -14. I don't get how this is only a 14-point spread. I get they're going to Cincy to play, but Cincinnati just lost to Miami of Ohio. And Oklahoma has been beating the brakes off of teams this year. Just
And
absolutely dominating.
they've been putting up 70 points, 60, 70 points.
Right.
Like just
Every week.
embarrassing teams.
Every week. So, like, all right, I'll take 2 touchdowns. Let's go. I love it. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I like it because it has push potential as well. It's not 14.5 or anything. So
Right.
14 is a great line for this game.
For sure. The game that we're against each other, Oregon Ducks -21. I also like Oregon the first half cover, 13.5 points right now on DraftKings. I think Colorado's a slow start, so for the first half at least, Oregon, if they start rolling right away, they could cover that 13.5 without problem. No Travis Hunter today, last rated liver. I don't know how Colorado's going to fill those shoes because they count on him for so much. Great sign at College Game Day. Oh God. Oh God.
I wanted to make a joke about OSU, but Michigan has the past 2 years.
Nice. I love it. I love
Hell
it.
yeah. Whoever that guy is.
But I'm huge on Oregon today, so just know that all the troops are going to Eugene.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know how invested you are into this game. Don't be from the chat. They deserve to know.
Let's just say I have a couple max plays on this game. So if you like Oregon, jump on the bandwagon, hop on with me. We'll ride it to some money today at the 3:30.
Let's just say the troops have been deployed.
All of them.
If we lose this game, we might have to have a draft.
Yeah, where's that number at?
Jordan knows it. 1-800-GAMBLER.
2 underdogs that I like to cover the spread today. Ole Miss +7. Bama's struggling. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be. I think what Saban said about the situation is just complete bullshit. Ole Miss, they look decent so far this year. What did Burley say? How many targets does Keon Coleman get today for Florida State? He only had 3. I don't know.
3 football emojis.
He looked good week 1, and then he only had like 2 kick returns, didn't get any catches last week, I think. So it's tough to say if he's earning his strides there in Florida State. They got a lot of athletes, so I don't know.
Yeah, you never know if he's not the Marvin Harrison caliber,
Right.
but you might think this is one of those bounce back games for him or the offensive coordinator alone, just making sure we get his targets. So, I mean, I don't know what his line's at. I'm sure it's probably at 4.5 or something like that, especially if you only got 3 last week. But I like the bounce back game with Keon. Plus, they're going to have to move the ball, so I like Keon to, probably get us over yards and his receptions strictly because a bounce back.
They have him at 68.5 yards.
So I would say it'll probably be at like 5.5 or 6.5.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right now they don't have receptions for him. So Burley, that's your answer right there. 68.5 yards. I would assume it's got to be at least 4 or 5 catches that they're assuming he's going to get.
For sure.
But again, Ole Miss +7, take them, sprinkle the money line if you like it. Bama's struggling. I really think this is going to be the first time in a couple years that they're going to be 2-loss team before we get to November. So look out, Bama. And then the last game, you already called it, Notre Dame +3.5. Sprinkle the money line against Ohio State. The worst thing that could have happened is what happened last week as far as Ohio State scoring a lot of points leading into this game. Dunny's gambler addiction not at your front door. You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. But cheer for old Notre Dame, all right? Good old Durand fight song, Notre Dame's fight song. You think Michigan covers today, huh? I'm staying away from that game. I do have same game parlay for it, but staying away from like the results of it.
I think if Michigan covers 21, then the over is going over 44. That's kind of how I've been looking at it. Just to stay away from if they cover or not, I'm just going to hope Rutgers puts up 14 and Michigan puts up 40.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan covers, but I've seen where we struggled against Rutgers before as well, and we were supposed to blow them out. So who knows? Who knows? a little spread or a little system that I have found that I'm gonna watch this week and then look forward to betting it next week if it's good. If you look at the lines and the over-under total is under 40, but the spread is bigger than a touchdown, take the underdog to cover the spread. So there's 3 examples of it this week. Sam Houston plus 11.5 versus Houston. Over-under set at 37. So they don't think there's going to be a lot of points, but we're still getting over 10 points. I'm nervous, but I think we covered today with, you're not wrong. That we're getting the troops back in Ann Arbor where they need to be. Jimmy Boy is going to be on the sideline. JJ's finally going to have his coach back, so maybe he looks like a little bit more of a JJ that we're used to.
He didn't get his coach slapping his pads before the game.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
It's bad juju.
Back to the system though. Second game is Iowa plus 14 at Penn State. Over under set at 38.5. And then the last one, I don't really like this game, but I'm going to watch it today, is Northwestern plus 11 versus Minnesota, purely because Northwestern sucks. I don't want to ever bet with them again. And then the over-under's at 39.5. So we'll see. The system, it could be fun if it's something that hits.
Hey, I'm good with Talonade because our NFL system has been looking good so far. We're 5-1, so.
For sure.
We'll have to recap that again going into tomorrow's slate. But yeah, I'm digging the system play so far.
It's always something that just pops up on my TikTok, and I'm like, well, I'll watch it. What is it? And if I like it, I'll talk to you guys about it, right?
For sure.
Harbaugh gets the first hit always. Okay, so bet Blake to score first, right? Or who we taking?
Dunny is going to get an audit from betting.
No.
No, you have to be winning a lot before the IRS calls.
You have to show a green or a black number, not a red one.
Yeah, they don't care if you're losing money.
DraftKings is going to get an audit from
they're like, no, DraftKings is going to be like, why hasn't this guy deposited? Oh, we gave him $150 before the season started.
Legit. A week and a half, every other day, I was getting like $50 if you play $10 on any casino game. So I'm like, fuck it, we'll go play some dollar blackjack. Roman Wilson first touchdown. Haven't had to deposit. Knock on wood. Let's keep that going after Oregon's game today. If they struggle,
that's a big determining factor.
I might have to.
Cody Griner in this bitch. What's up, brother? How we feeling about Corum with 2 touchdowns today? Well, Dunny, let's get into your SGP then.
Speaking of 2 tutties today, same game parlay for Michigan game. If you are in Michigan, have FanDuel, or if you're anywhere where FanDuel works, they have a 50% parlay boost for a same game parlay today. This is what I used. JJ 200 yards, Roman Wilson 40 yards receiving, Blake 70 yards rushing, and Blake 2 tutties. So JJ's hit this line 2 of 3 games this year. Roman's hit this line in all 3 games. Blake's hit 70 yards in all 3 games and scored 2 tutties in 2 of the 3 games this year. So I'm looking forward to it. It's just 4 legs. With the 50% boost, you get up to plus 672. So $10 gets you $67.20. I don't have to cheer for Michigan to cover a spread or go over. I just got to cheer for yards and tutties. So let's go.
Yeah, that's the best thing about player props. I think JJ is going to go over 200 a day. I think that's a pretty good lock just because, like I said, they're going to try to get him comfortable in the pocket again and make him forget about last week. I'm hoping for a big game this week, but hopefully that doesn't mean they're throwing the ball red zone wise and they get Blake his 2 tutties.
I wholeheartedly agree. Definitely don't hate that at all. Absolutely. I posted it in the Discord if you guys are looking for it, if you want to see it for sure, so you can visualize it. There it is in the Discord. If you haven't gotten in there, I would recommend it for sure.
Yeah, especially after that Thursday night, you fucking
got to.
Thursday night, Dunny killed it for the NFL.
We both did. We both had a pretty good night. But yeah, the same game parlay that I talked to Jordan about on the live, it fucking hit with no problems.
All right, if you're listening in the chat, put your favorite play in for this week because we would like to know what you guys are thinking. We only cover probably half the games because we're going through seeing what we like. So there's another half a slate out there. I'm just curious what you guys are on, what you guys like, even if you're not throwing any units at it. First look at the board, first glance. What do you like?
Dunny cost me an arm and a leg. How? How did I cost you an arm? Oh, because you faded me, probably. That's what you get, Joe Bags.
That's what Jordan always says. Give me that line. I need a full fade today.
Right.
SGP for MSU versus Maryland.
Burley, if you drink
no.
16 beers again today, your wife might divorce you.
He was off the beers when he was getting wild?
He was off the liquor, but if he drank
was it the
beers,
100 proof again?
I don't think he was drinking the 100 proof. That was me, but
I was gonna say you guys got to stay away from the fucking hundo proof, but it's an open bar. It's so free.
You got to.
Dunny over 11 bets today. That's his favorite. Jordan's favorite bet.
Let's count it up.
That line is probably minus 500.
Joe Bags, you the first touchdown Roman Wilson was plus 390, so that's a pretty good bet.
Had Chubb going over 100. Well, that got DNP'd because his fucking leg is still on the ground.
You got your money back on that if you were using any of the, typical sports books, I guess.
Joe Bags, you can always bet on Bovada. That's
is BetOpenly in South Carolina?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. Wait, he's in Georgia.
Oh, Georgia, sorry.
Yeah, you can use.
Yeah, Gino told me they're only blocked in Colorado, Hawaii, Idaho, New Jersey, and Nevada. So you can bet on BetOpenly. They give you the best lines. You're going peer to peer. Our buddy who made an episode with us, his name's Gino.
Uncle Gino.
He runs it. Uncle Gino.
Yeah, you can check those two out. Those are BetOpenly. It's still in the country. Bovada has been a offshore book that is super reliable. It's been around since I was been in middle school betting, so it's super reliable. I know a lot of people that most of the time, if you're a true degenerate, you're betting on almost all the sites because they give out different lines at different numbers. So you're pretty much scouring all the sports books to get the best lines. So Bovada is super trusted. I know a lot of good people that use it. So
hey, no problem. Just another degenerate helping another degenerate.
Yeah, degen, we got you. No worries, bro.
Warner, what did you set the line at for number of bets today?
11.
Oh, I hope you were on the over because we're definitely over. You can ladder that.
Oh my God, you are a fucking degen. All right, I'm gonna go through a few more games just to see what you are thinking.
Okay.
If you know anything about either of these teams, but Kentucky Vanderbilt, Kentucky minus 13.5. We did say to begin the year, Vanderbilt is extremely poverty. I don't remember if you bet on them week 1 or something like that because
no, I bet on them week 2.
Shit. Oh, okay.
But yes, I would take Kentucky to cover because fuck Vanderbilt. I don't care how many points they get.
Vanderbilt's so bad. I can't. What was the other team? Oh yeah, you bet on Northwestern and you bet on Vanderbilt this year. So you need to stay away.
You might want to full fade me then, I guess.
You gotta stay away from the poverty. I knew it was over. That's the same as my dab's Let's Pints.
Oh Jesus.
Warner, one dab. I want to talk about the Colorado-Oregon game just a little more. The over 70 flat. It's the highest over on the board. It's one of the highest overs I've ever seen to start the game out, and it's wild to see how many people are backing the over. So what do you feel about the over 70?
I really think it's going to hit. Not much defense can be played by either team, and both offenses look explosive. So 70 doesn't seem like a lot, especially with a 21-point spread, because Colorado's going to score. You just don't know how much they're going to score, right? Like, that's the thing. 21 points, it could be, 48 to, what would that be, 27, and that gets you over.
Do you think Oregon's scoring 50? Dude,
Maybe.
you are deploying the units. He's already mentally. Did he? I mean, they probably can. I
mean,
haven't
but
watched a lot of
realistic-
Oregon because
Right.
they're on the other side of the country, so 3 hours difference. I typically don't watch them, but they're always scoring a lot of points. But Bo Nix has been known to get pretty antsy, and he has been turnover friendly just in his past. So 70 points is so fucking much.
It is a ton of points, right? So would I be shocked if it doesn't go over? No, not by any means. But if you told me to pick a side, I would say it's probably going to go over. It's going to be all fireworks, all gas, no brakes kind of football game. Like run, 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 run.
Just a classic track meet on the football field, like a Texas Tech,
Right.
Oklahoma type fucking game. Nobody's playing defense. Bo Nix going for 403 tutties. Wouldn't be
Hey,
surprised, but I think he's going to throw a pick or two in there as well.
hey, that's fine.
But
if you
there's going to
think-
be there's going to be so many possessions. I don't think it's one turnover or two turnovers isn't going to decide this game.
right. Watch the score be like 10-3 at halftime, and
No fucking shot.
I'm in shambles.
Absolutely no shot.
Might be 10-3 by halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, no shit. A team that you were high on to begin the year, Oregon State -3 versus Washington State. Over under 57.5. It's going to be another shootout.
It's in
Just like
Wazoo, right?
It is. It's in Washington State.
I like the Beavers. I'll take Oregon State. They've looked pretty damn good so far this year. Washington State has looked good as well. This is going to be another high scoring affair. I think if you told me to bet, it would be Oregon State to cover and the over. But
Over 57.5. Yeah.
yeah,
Washington State is, they're that high tempo, damn near passing the ball 60 times a game, 50 times a game.
Right.
Like they're just known to do that. So it's really going to be determined on how well Oregon State can play defensively and if they can get them off the fucking field.
Yep. The good old air raid system. Wasn't Mike Leach there right before he died?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah. Then another over-under of a game we already talked about. This is Ohio State Notre Dame. It's at over 55.5. What do you think about that one?
I'd go under on that. I think it's going to be one of those back and forth bruiser games rather than a high flying, a lot of scoring. So I would say under for sure.
And then Marvin Harrison is at 6 receptions. Do you think he's going over today? Think they're going to get the, most athletic, most talented guy on the field the ball over 6 times today?
Damn, I would say no. I would say under. I 6 catches is a lot.
You think so?
Especially because Notre Dame's going to be like, okay, if you're Notre Dame, you have to stop Trey and you have to start Marvin Harrison. Like, make their quarterback beat you by not turning around giving the ball to Trey and not throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison. Make him throw to anyone else.
Yeah, the old Belichick strategy, take away your, the best thing you got going on. Last week he had 5 catches, but he didn't play the fourth quarter, damn near.
Right.
And he had 2 touchdowns in the first fucking 4 minutes of the game. And then week 1 he had 7. So right in the middle of that is his 6th line. He's went 7-5. So the line's, going to be pretty sharp. But for me, in my understanding, I like Notre Dame. So if Notre Dame's winning, they're going to just force the ball into Marvin's hands. Even if he could have 2 bubble screens, 2 little, like he could get quick catches just to give him the ball in space. And if you're an offensive coordinator and you lose the game and don't score a lot of points, you go back and you see Marvin only caught the ball 4 times. Well, there's your problem, or one of your problems, one of the things your fan base is going to talk about. So I think that's already happened to him once, even though they won. I don't think he's going to let it happen again. I think he's going to make sure he gets his targets. If he doesn't come down with them, then whatever. But I think he's going to have 10 targets tonight.
Okay. All right. Hey, good take. I like it. You can talk me into taking the over.
I mean, and 6 is good push potential. It's not 6.5. So, I think 6 is in a pretty good line for him.
For sure. Another team that I was big on, Oklahoma State, before the season. I don't know why I was big on them, but they're 3.5-point underdogs at Iowa State today. Iowa State has looked atrocious. They lost to Ohio last week. What do you think?
Well, when you come back and lose to Ohio, you pretty much hit rock bottom. So I think they can only go up from here, but I really don't know enough about them to
Right.
say if they're going to do anything, but just judging off of their first few weeks games and then losing to Ohio last week, they're due to bounce back.
For sure. I agree wholeheartedly. I would say, that game is ugly. Over unders 36. Yikes.
Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
Iowa playing.
Right. I would rather watch paint dry probably, but
And then I got one MAC game for you because you took Western Michigan last week. How do you think they're going to do this week? Toledo, they are plus 21.5 versus Toledo.
Western's plus 21.5 against Toledo.
Western is plus 21.5 against Toledo for minus 110 on DK.
Minus 21.5. Get the old Toledo Rockets.
Get Toledo minus 21.5?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Hey, it's all about the offense that they're playing against.
Yeah, I guess that was the stick.
I'm more negative against Iowa than I am positive for Western Michigan.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I got you.
So I like Toledo's offense. Their quarterback's very dynamic, and they can put up a lot of points.
Yeah, they should have upset week 1 too. Toledo should be like a
3-0 team right now.
Yeah, 3-0 team. Like, watch out for Toledo. They're going to run through the MAC. So, yeah, hopefully that is they cover the 21.5 and bounce back a little bit.
For sure.
All right, one more game for sure I want to talk about. This is the Iowa-Penn State game. You got Penn State minus 14. The over-under's at 38.5. Do you think this is sailing under because Iowa sucks so bad or what?
I mean, based on the system, you would take Iowa plus 14 in this case. Cade McNamara has played in Penn State before and has done well at Penn State before. So I don't think he's going to be scared going into the game today. All he's got to do is control the game, slow it down, run the ball, let their defense play good defense. I would take Iowa plus 14 today.
Okay. I like that. It's kind of tough for me because I just don't trust Iowa.
Right.
I don't think they have enough talent around the ball to even help Cade. And Penn State does have one of the best defenses.
That's true. They created a lot of turnovers last week.
Yeah, and they're kind of riding off that momentum. 4 interceptions from dickhead Illinois quarterback.
Right.
So Iowa has to control the front line. They have to be able to run the ball and fall forward for 3 yards every time, or else their offense is going to be backed up in 3rd and long, and that's where they don't want to be. Even if you have Cade, I don't care how high you are on Cade, he is not that guy. He's not going to carry your team.
You're not that dude.
He's not going to carry your team against an elite Penn State team. So everything determines Iowa on their defense and the run game, as always. And that's probably why the line's set at 38.5. Okay. But if their defense doesn't show up, Penn State's going to put up some numbers today.
For sure. Okay, noon games. You have to pick one. I'm not going to tell you the Michigan game because obviously we know which one you're going to watch. But Florida State, Clemson. What's the other one? That's on at noon. That's huge for everyone today. Is it Auburn, Texas A&M? Oklahoma, Cincinnati?
Oklahoma, Cincinnati.
What game are you watching? Well, if you had to pick one.
It's got to be Florida State, Clemson. The line's set at 2. Florida State hasn't beat Clemson in a meaningful game in 5 ever. I think I just want to see Dabo go down. And I want to see Clemson off the map. I don't like Florida State, but it's nice to see another team kind of take over that division. And the line just set at 2 after Clemson just has looked like shit, solely off of Florida State having a tough game against BC last week.
For sure.
So I think that one intrigues me the most because there's so many question marks going into it. They both are supposed to have high-powered offense and average defenses-ish. So the over-under's at 56. There's supposed to be a lot of points. I think it's going to be super exciting. A lot of big plays. There's always big plays down there. and it's in Clemson. So if Florida State beats Clemson in Clemson, thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Moving on to 3:30, you got Colorado, Oregon, UCLA, Utah, Ole Miss, Bama.
Oh, well, I'll have the double monitor set up, so I'll have to watch Ole Miss and Bama just to see how Bama bounces back this week. The
For
three
sure.
quarterback rotation, Milroe's back in play. I think Milroe's going to have a big day today. I don't like Ole Miss +7, but I'm not going to bang Alabama -7 either. So I'm not super strong on either, but I think Milroe has a big game today. Get some of the haters off, but I think the Utah versus UCLA game is going to be another game I watch strictly because whoever wins this game is more than likely going to challenge USC for that. This is kind of like your second place team right here, and it gets to happen in week 4. So that's exciting to see. But yeah, I would take Utah. I just think they're the more experienced team, and they're home. So that -3.5 line is, probably just because they're home. Other than that, they're a coin flip game. But I like Utah. I just like I like their coaching, how they play defense, their mentality in the run game, and just how they play ball. So I think Utah controls the ball really well in this game, and UCLA is one of the teams that has to get off strong. Start going strong in their high tempo. They rely on the defense getting tired and being able to scheme in the game per play. So they're huge determining factors just starting off hot. So I think Utah is going to be able to settle them down, have their long drives. They're not always a big play offense. They have long, lengthy drives. So I'm expecting them to do that against UCLA and kind of cool them off.
Okay. Do you know why Cam Rising isn't playing? He hasn't played at all this year so far. The injury?
He got injured in the bowl game last year.
Okay. I know they're talking about him questionable to come back, but they said he's not playing today again. So sucks for Utah, but when you get him back, that's going to be nice.
Go Blue, Gabe. What up, Gabe? How you doing, bro? Go Blue, Warner.
Go Blue.
Yeah, Utah is quarter. I know, and I'm huge on Cam Rising. I love the way he plays. He's just a dog. He loves to run the ball, lower your shoulder. He's like just one of those, Utah, Montana, one of those West quarterbacks like a Josh Allen. Not obviously to his caliber, but watching him in college, how he just lowers his shoulder and doesn't give a fuck. That's kind of the mentality Rising has. He's just like an old fucking country boy, That's basically what it reminds me of. He's got the big fucking mullet flow out the back. So I don't know when he's going to come back. Warner said ACL, so probably not that long. So they need to win this game if they expect to get Rising back somewhat in the season. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if they expect to get their QB1 back, then they really need this game to challenge USC later in the season.
For sure. Wholeheartedly agree. Cannot. Go Blue. Go Blue. Go Blue. Absolutely, Gabe. Absolutely. All right.
Dabaduya. What else we got? Got some Ohio Bowling Green. Ohio won last week. Bowling Green against Michigan. That's not a good one to bounce back to, but
I really don't know anything about those teams other than Bowling
I just
Green.
know Ohio upset last week.
That's true.
Bowling Green started off good. Their defense looked good. I mean, our offense looked bad, but their defense looked bad. Over 44.5. Who the fuck knows?
Right.
Who the fuck knows?
Students at those two universities, but that's about it. And moms.
Yeah, no shit.
Them boys
Warner,
bulls.
Warner, what do you like today, bro? Other than your over 1 pint and 4 dabs.
And you can't say Michigan money line either.
Yeah, that's such a bailout. Let me go to some quick SGPs here to see if we like any of these. Florida State money line over 20.5 for Florida's team score. Over 3.5 touchdowns for Florida State.
Seems pretty legit.
These are pre-made. Let me go to some of the wild plus 1,001. See what they got.
What's the parlay that you made? You did a three-legger, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me get that out. I did talk about most of the plays, but I just buried the ones I liked, and then I added one more. Let me see. All right, Warner, don't even say you're full fade in, motherfucker. I know he's just waiting for me to finish it and say thanks. I'm full fade and I'm gonna be rich. I like FSU +5. I like FSU as well. All right, so mine was Florida State money line, Oklahoma -14 spread, Maryland money line, Notre Dame money line, and North Carolina. And that was 25 for 350.
Damn. And that's sweat free, right?
That's quite free. So if it loses, I'll get it back. So that's kind of where you get more risky and get a couple more legs in typically. And it to me, it's basically going to come down to the Notre Dame game. It's the only plus game at +135.
Right.
North Carolina's -300, Maryland's -300. Those are kind of supposed to be gimmies. Those are usually the ones that lose the gimmies.
Right.
But
you're like, fuck.
yeah. And then I like Oklahoma -14. They've been scoring 60 points a game. And since he just took an L last week, I could give two rats asses if Cincy's home or not. They only have fucking 18,000 people that show up anyways. And then I like Florida with the bounce back versus Clemson. So the Florida State and the Notre Dame game are pretty much what this one's riding on.
There we go. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, catch me in the Bahamas with that face.
He's booking his fucking resort right now. Hell no.
Lord have mercy.
I don't want to look too far ahead because this is college football, but I did bang a NFL one that was the free licks as well.
Oh, Lord.
Lions, Saints, Chargers, Bills, Eagles spread, Bengals.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
It's pretty much the whole fucking slate. A lot of it's chalked. Other than the Saints are +100 against Green Bay.
Chargers,
probably
Minnesota
because the Saints look like shit.
Yep.
Yeah, the Chargers, Minnesota is going to be one of the best games because they're both 0-2.
For sure.
I don't think anyone expected either of those teams to start the season 0-3, and one of them has to.
Yep. And then Cincinnati, who do they play?
For what?
You didn't you say Cincinnati was the last leg of that one?
Yeah, I did.
I think it's a Monday night game.
Yeah.
I can't remember who they played, but I don't know if Joe Burrow's playing. So
I don't know. He did have a full practice Wednesday,
but
that doesn't always mean anything because it doesn't look like he's walking great.
Right. So
and he's got the sleeve on, the calf sleeve. Weren't you talking about like the calf to Achilles kind of lingering thing?
Yep. So
he said, "Oh yeah, double fade. I'm retiring." Hell no!
Never bet against the Lions, you asshole. Come on now.
Yeah, you can't bet against the Lions.
But no, speaking of the NFL, we will be live tomorrow morning as well for anyone who wants to jump on and hear what plays we've got going for that. Hopefully, we can keep Thursday's hot streak for the NFL going. Just one spark on the wood right now. Hopefully, we turn it into a little bit of a fire and get going from there.
Okay, yeah, buddy. That's gonna do it for us. Episode 32, college football week 4 pregame show, best bets and upset alert. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. What time are we gonna be live?
Probably
live by 11.
11, yeah.
Make sure we have 2 hours, 11-ish. Make sure we at least have an hour to talk before you guys hop into the red zone and plant your asses on the couches for the rest of the day. Good, give me so I don't have to work for the week.
Oh, good God. Go Blue, go Ducks.
Go Blue, guys. Everyone. Yeah, have a good day. Happy Saturday. Have a good weekend. Peace.